Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I was going to do a Q&A today, but I'm not going to because I was not smart thinking. I didn't think smart. Yesterday was Thanksgiving, and the reason I wasn't thinking straight is I never ended up posting the poll for your guys' questions, so it's being postponed till next week. But we will do it, yeah. I'm kind of everywhere, and I'm still kind of everywhere. And the reasoning is because every year we decorate on Thanksgiving. Literally, every year we, watch the Macy's parade. Then, we eat, a Thanksgiving lunch, or for me, whatever, yesterday it was garlic bread. And then, and after we eat, my dad, cleans up the kitchen and stuff, and then he, goes up, then he has, a 5 or 10 minute break, and then he, goes upstairs into the attic, and, start pulling down boxes of, Christmas stuff, and then we, start decorating, and, the inside of the house is decorated by the end of Thanksgiving. And then the next day we start decorating the outside, and that usually takes 2 or 3 days for us to do. And that didn't happen this year. Because my dad was too tired. Legitimately, we so we're still not decorated. We have some stuff, and by some stuff I mean we have curtains that are red and with white snowflakes up, but we had them up for a while now because what happened is my mom got curtains last year, and then I don't think they ever got changed or something, so they've been up for a while. And then we have a Santa Claus up, a little Santa Claus up, but that has also been up for a while. Let me adjust this. Okay. Give me a... There we go. So, then, we have, a little Santa Claus up. And then we have 2 stockings up. Mine and Sam, and that was because of the fact that my dad was going through, we have one bin downstairs in the hallway, and we, started, for us when we decorate, we, have to, put certain things up, move certain things, so we did start on that today, but we didn't do much. And we have mine and Sam's stocking up because when he was looking and to kind of so he found one bin, and at the top of it he opened it up to make sure, because sometimes some of the bins aren't labeled Christmas or something, so he opened it and saw that at mine and Sam's stockings were right at the top, and so he tossed them down, and we put them up. But we still, we're gonna get to it soon, I think. And then today has just been everywhere because of the fact that today's been a lot of, first up we moved the mattress back here, and, the pillows, the sleeping bag, because I used my JoJo sleeping bag on top of it. For those who don't know, it was freezing cold out, the past couple of nights. It's been freezing cold, so, well, not freezing cold, but it's been really cold for us anyway. Not snowy or anything, but pretty cold, and so, cause cause the place that we live in, it doesn't, it kind of goes back and forth. Like, when it's winter, it gets cold, but not, as cold as some places do. Not snowy cold. Actually, only my sister, almost every year, the place that she lives, gets snow, and I get so jealous of it. I, get generally jealous because I love snow. And, yeah, then... And so, it gets kind of cold, and during the summer and, spring, so winter and fall is, fall kind of cooler, but not, freezing. And then, winter gets colder, but then, spring, it starts warming up, and then summer, it gets hot. It, gets pretty hot. So it's we never know the weather, kind of, on what it's gonna be. Because it could be, freezing cold one day, and then the next be, pretty warm. So we don't know. But anyways, because of that reasoning, and because our main, our big heater, or that we got last year, my parents got, a big heater thing, and we basically, my parents made the decision that we're all, staying in the living room for a few nights, so we stayed in the living room for, 2 or 3 nights. 2 or 3 nights, I'm not sure. But now, today, I wanted to film, and so I'm doing kind of a Q&A. I'm just doing a chat type thing, chatting with you, but also I came up with some questions I'll answer and stuff. And so, yeah, this week, I feel like this week is really hard because I'm just patiently, I'm very patiently, waiting, if that makes sense, because we're getting we are getting my baby sister, my parents' new dog / my baby sister, because for those who don't know, I did want to answer this and clarify, because I have been confusing in videos and lately. Sam is my baby brother. He is my parents' dog, but he was for me. So sometimes I say my baby, but what I mean by that is I should say is my baby brother, because Sam is my baby brother. He's my parents' dog. Because personally, in between dance, in between life, for me to have the all responsibility. That was bad there for a second. And I don't even know what happened really, but all of a sudden I swallowed, and then it felt like I was getting ready to sneeze or something, and it kind of made my eyes water, so I gotta wipe it, and it was weird. There we go. But in between life and stuff, technically I am responsible enough to take care of Sam, and it's just the fact that I'm 15. Actually, no, I'm 16. And I said I was 15 there, and I'm no, I'm 16. And I'm 16, and I don't live a normal life. And I say that my life, has never been normal, and I say because I always been homeschooled, and, with all of my diseases and stuff, which for me played no part in it. But I say now my life is even more unnormal because now my life is so based around like dance and stuff that it's a different story. So like, yeah, so for me, like the thing is that like my life is so based around dance and like I love family and family is always gonna be important to me. And well, I put it this way and here's how I like to put it because this is something true is that like family is always gonna be most important but it's always gonna come down to reaction and how people act. So like for the most part family's always gonna be important but sometimes if someone did something not the nicest or something and I had to pick between skipping dance or seeing, like skipping dance and seeing them, or not skipping dance, then unless it's like a real like emergency thing, most likely dance is gonna win. And unfortunately, dance is something that has to come before. Well, in my mind, and also in the best interest of my career, dance has to come before family sometimes. And like if it's not a like super important thing, like for an example, like I it's like oh like I it's just like seeing some family and then dance is most likely gonna win, and the reasoning is because it's the best thing for my career. The thing is like this break for Thanksgiving has been a nightmare. It's literally been like hasn't been a nightmare, but it's been really hard for me because I love dance so much, and I feel like I'm the type that I literally throughout this entire like Thanksgiving break, I haven't stopped. I pushed it even more probably because now when I'm like making a prune smoothie or something, I'm stretching or I'm leaping around the house, turning around the house. I'm constantly dancing, and I feel like it's the best thing for my career. And now, this break did give me something, and I'm gonna say it this way. And something that's great is that this break has been really nice from dance. Like, it's been a nice time to, like, breathe, and it's also been, like, a nice time for me to, like, just check on myself, remind myself like why I'm doing it, all the hard work going in, what it's for and stuff. Like not joking, before I filmed this video, I actually did something on the aerialist dance hammock, which is not a swing. And the thing is with it, so yeah, for it, it's the sort of thing that like it just has to like in a way I love what I do so much and my career is so important to me. We're getting this nice little corner view. But for me it means so much to me and I'm putting so much work in, and the thing is with my career I chose it's not easy, and here's the thing is that I actually would say dancers typically have pressure on them. They typically have to constantly work, and like I struggle with some stuff sometimes and others don't, and like it's constantly a competition. And that the thing with dance is this was the one thing that like happened, but I told myself it would never happen. And now I'm actually really happy that happened the way that it did, which is dance is a competition. Even when you're in class, you're competing against everyone in that class. You're competing to be better than everyone in that class. There's no, I don't care if I'm not the best. Typically, yes, here's what I say is that dance is a competition. You shouldn't have the mindset of, I don't care if I'm not the best, or I care if I'm not the best. You obviously want to work to be the best, but don't be rude, don't be stuck up, don't be rubbing it in people's faces oh, I'm the best, you're not. Don't be that way, but you should care if you're not the best. You should want to work to get better. But also, even if you are, you shouldn't say anything. It's your talent. Here's the biggest tip that I will say for any dancer is you never want to talk your talent. And what I mean by that is you want to let your talent do the talk. Meaning you don't want to you don't want to go around bragging about how talented you are. No, because if you are really talented, that works great. But if you aren't, then it kind of comes back. It backfires. But that's the biggest tip is you don't want to do that because it makes you sound braggy. But what you can do that actually sometimes does even more is let your talent do the talking. Meaning, when you dance, it will show everyone your talent. And that's something great. But with this break, it's been, and I have a different situation than a lot of dancers, and that's, in a way, it's a good situation, but it's also a situation that I feel almost is harder than a normal one, but not in the way that you think. Let me put this, because I am an Abby favorite, this isn't me bragging, I'm being real, I'm being open with you. It's amazing because it's a dream come true, and it's something that happened at the right time and the timing that I needed it to happen the most, I feel because I was at a point where I was kind of just not in it. What I mean by that is I was at a point of seeing, taking, at this point I had took 2 dance classes. Well, actually not true, because each thing was its own class. So at that point, I would say I took 5 dance classes, almost 6. And yeah, because the thing is, it's school. It's school. Each school subject is its own class. And stuff. And so, for me, the thing was that for me, anyway, dance, each thing is a subject. So, at that point, I had done 1 warm-up and stretch class with Abby. Actually, no, 4 classes I done 4. I think, yeah. Because I didn't do Gianna that first week. Then I did a hip-hop class with Melissa, and then I did a ballet class with, I don't even remember, I think it was Taylor or someone, I don't know, because it was a long time ago. Actually, I can check on the ticket. So I thought I could check on the ticket, but the thing is, but apparently no. So I can't check on the ticket. Thought I could. But anyway, and then I did. It was kind of we did a little bit of a warm up and but it was actually a combo with Gianna Martello's, a Dance Moms combo. And so like I've done a few classes and I feel like I was so much looking on the negative of that when I first started. And truth be told, it wasn't until after my first master class. I think actually it was after my second master class when I got my tilt. And the thing was, I was working on it months before that. Now I almost have a leg hold. Like, so it's like each individual thing is its own class. So it just came at the right time. And I feel like it worked how it did. And then that day was like a special day that will always go down in my heart. Because as one of the best days of my life in a way. Because it made, here's the thing, and I think it's truth be told, I have a lot of great memories. But I have different levels of memory. So I have so many great memories, and that's great. And then I have some that are like even better memories. And then I have my favorite memories. And then then obviously some memories that aren't that good, probably little things from when I was little that I don't remember or something but, and then I have memories that I call my okay memory because nothing bad happened, but nothing super exciting or different happened. They're right in the middle. So for me, in some of my best memories, I would say is definitely Squad Tour. Seeing my crush the last time I did. That was one of my favorite memories, but it also in a way is one of my least. It's my favorite, but it's one of the hardest memories in a down way because it was I didn't know it was the last time. Then in the JoJo concert, and then the one that one of the ones that stand out actually a couple that stand out also on the list is when I became an Abby favorite, and also the this last Sunday, which was Zoom with Julia Marlin or something. She was incredible, and doing Zoom with her, and the thing that I think I liked about it the most was that it wasn't we each asked one, we got to kind of unmute and stuff. But the thing is, being an Abby favorite, I feel like it happened at the right time because I was so focused on thinking that, as a dancer, that the most important thing is, flexibility. And I wasn't flexible. And I feel like when that happened, it made me so happy. It generally did. I was almost in tears. And, the thing is, I don't ever really get in tears too much, in a happy way. And I don't really silently cry. Here's the thing, is that up until recently, well, up until eventually in life, I don't know when this stopped because I just don't stop at some point. Or when I cried, I threw a fit. It wasn't oh, I would cry. It was oh, I was throwing a fit, whether I was happy or sad or what the situation was. And so I feel it, the first time that I actually silently cried, there was a time that was close. It was close, but so many people were watching, and I didn't want to explain to a lot of people that I didn't really know, which was the time that was close was the day before Valentine's Day 2019. But the first time I actually silently cried was the JoJo concert, and no one even realized, and that was not even my sister who was standing next to me. But that was a big deal because it was I dreamed to go to the JoJo concert, and it happened. I didn't do the meet and greet or anything, but I did go and watch the show and stuff live. Then I feel with Squad Tour, I didn't silently cry with that one. I was shaking with that one. That one, I was legitimately this. Almost the entire time. Very shaky. Even, my dad could tell, because I was mind blown. And so, I might make a part 2 to the video, because I'm having fun chatting with you. So, for me, it was such a big deal. And when Abby made me a favorite, or an Abby favorite, it showed me, because in dance, really, truth be told, and I'm telling you this, is that in dance, the most important things, the 4 things that if you do not have these 4 things, then you're not, you need, these 4 things are the most important things in dance, which is number 1, passion. You have to have a passion for it, you have to love it, because if not, you're going to be spending a lot of hours or training and stuff and not enjoying it. So you have to really love it and have passion. The second thing is you have to have a goal. Something that you want to make from it. You kind of have to have that goal of what you want out of it. What are you dreaming of? Why are you doing it? And for me, that's to become a pop star like JoJo. Because it's my big picture of what I'm working towards. Then third thing is confidence. You gotta be confident. And if you're not, that's the sort of thing that you gotta figure out ways to help yourself become confident. And if you generally can't, it's okay. Because you'll figure it out one way or another. It's just, and I will say, 2 of the biggest tips that I will say is psych your opponent out. Meaning, even when you're in class, and there's, a time period where you're in class, but it's, you still have a few minutes before class starts. Or psych your opponent out. That means you do something that you're really good at, improv, something that you're really good at, and it will get everyone scared in that room. And it's called psyching your opponent out. I love doing that. And the other tip, which I especially recommend it if you aren't confident, the other tip is, and this is more of one, if you're auditioning or competing or something, which is go over your dance and then look at a wall or put your hand over your face. Do some way where you can't see anyone going, or whatever's going on around you, if you can. And do that until it's your turn. That way you know the dance and no one can psych you out. And the biggest tip, this is the biggest one, is do not, even if you are confident, do not, and I repeat, do not watch the person before you. Bad mistake. But another little tip that you can do is you can also kind of psych people out in another way by like faking it, if that makes sense. Like what I mean by that is like you can go like, so when you get done with like your dance or something, you can like walk past like whoever you're trying to psych out and be like, yes, I nailed it, even if you were a hot mess. And it will get everyone else scared, but it's a great way to just get them scared, so maybe they'll mess up. I'm about to make a part 2 to this.